Hello and welcome to a new video presented by Stein Investments. In today's video, I'd like to document a trading day or a typical trading day for me in total. So from the first analysis here in the morning until I close the trades then in the evening. And so I would say we start with a first analysis of the current market situation. It's currently 10:30 a.m. here in Germany, which is 9:30 in London, and I usually await 60 to 90 minutes after the London opening to see how the market evolves before making any decisions or the first market analysis, because usually at the opening many trades are executed that are placed overnight, and sometimes even news can influence that, and so I await 60 to 90 minutes until the dust has settled, and then I'll start my analysis. So the first and very good sign is that the total trading volume is currently rising. So we had here this bottom stage which started around the London opening, and so we can expect a stable total trading volume and hopefully a constantly rising total trading volume. Yesterday, I can show you as example the same market time period is here. That's 10:30 a.m. and then it started to rise even further, and this is a great sign because it stabilizes the trend moves, and you can see the dollar and the Canadian dollar have been up for most of the time, and we traded against it. New Zealand dollar has been down. We traded against that as well and earned some very good money on this, and I hope to catch the same kind of move today as well. Hence, total trading volume is a key trigger for me to decide whether to trade or not. Strength-wise, one can say the US dollar, the main mover across all the forex trading, is currently neutral. So there is nothing to be expected from this side, and one reason for that is probably that there are some high impact news expected later today in the afternoon around the New York opening. So at 2:30 p.m. we have this block of US dollar news, and in most cases the market remains pretty calm up fronted before it goes further. Yesterday it's been a bit different. The market was very active before the news, but this news event pushed it even further, and maybe you have seen the video yesterday and or traded yesterday as well. So news are checked. There's nothing critical from my point of view. We have two high impact news events for the US dollar, but we can deal with that easily. And then it also depends on what the trade recommendations are, and if we trade the dollar as well. Right now I don't expect it because it is neutral, and I expect to see more trade recommendations for these two currencies because Swiss franc and Japanese yen are highly correlated, and if both are going down, this is usually an excellent opportunity to trade them and buy everything else against those two currencies. So that said, I would say conditions are good, and we start with our AI analysis. Before we do that, I have to say that one user was asking for more manual trading content because it's been very much in the direction of AI in the last maybe 10 to 20 videos. Yeah, I know this. And of course, we want to highlight our latest improvements and what we developed for you. And I fully understand that manual trading sometimes comes too short. And I try to balance this in this video by doing a manual trade analysis as well for every trade recommendation we get from the AI. So we have a detailed, simple on-chart analysis considering the information we get from FX dynamic, from FX levels regarding the SL and TP levels, and then we'll see if we can cover both sides, the more AI triggered traders and the manual traders. And if you wish some improvements on the content, just drop me a line. You can do that either below the video or in a personal message on MQL5 or on Telegram. And I'm always open for suggestions, and I want to know what you guys wish, what you guys want, what is the need, what kind of information do you miss so far, and then I try to fill this gap as good as possible. So now let's do the AI analysis because it's just simple. So I will go to my EasyInsight folder, then to Forex, and then I'll switch to the time-lapse folder, and there I use the latest 4. Now I wait a few seconds because the next CSV file, there it is, should be created right now because it's a 15 minutes time interval, and so I use these 4 data files, copy it, then go to my Perplexity AI chat. There I open a new thread and just paste these files. And then I already opened the prompt I use for this one. I copy that one as well and paste it here. And so the AI knows what to do with these 4 files. And we pull the trigger for the AI analysis by Perplexity Pro. This can sometimes take from a few seconds up to a few minutes, and so I pause the recording until the analysis is done. So the results are finally there, and as expected, the Swiss franc plays a role, the Japanese yen as well, and the British pound is also listed here in 3 of 5 recommendations. So it seems we have a good uptrend here on the British pound, and it's traded against the weak Swiss franc and weak yen, and the Aussie dollar and the New Zealand dollar is also participating in the Swiss franc weakness. And I would say we check the corresponding charts straight away. Total volume remains stable here, and then we'll have a look at the British pound, Swiss franc, which is already very strong, as you can see here in this FX power delta map. It's been very weak considering the 1 week analysis here of IX power. So there seems to start a trend shift in this regard, because you can also see there is still a very weak British pound, which is currently rising. The 4 hours analysis is constantly above the 1 day, and the 1 day is above the 1 week. So I would trust this analysis. This is the last support level, which can be used as stop loss. I would go for a tighter one here below the daily low, and this is the next resistance, a pretty young one, only 21 hours old, and the next one is a bit older. But let's aim for this first resistance here, which is right between the 80% ATR and 100% ATR drawn by FX Dynamic here. So we'll go for a buy. We click here, place the stop loss there, and our profit target here. The next one is the Aussie dollar against the Swiss franc. Shows also a great tendency to the upside here. It's currently moving sideways all day long. The next support level is here, and the next resistance comes already here, but this is only 9 hours old, so this is the daily high. It might be broken quickly. I would go for the older resistance here, which is almost 3 days old, so it might have a higher relevance, and this one is probably broken quickly. And considering this as stop loss and this one as TP, we get a risk reward ratio of around 1. In the AI analysis, this trade gets only a risk reward ratio of 0.5 because it uses this stop loss and this take profit. In our case, I would say we go for this one and we'll see how this turns out. The next one is the New Zealand dollar Swiss franc. Same situation, but with a way better risk and reward ratio. The stop loss is here and the profit target will be here. So this one didn't work in the first attempt, so let's go here and there. I use the daily low, which marks also the bottom of this support zone, because it might be possible that the price reverses in this area and I want to become stopped out too early, and so I go for the full distance here to the daily low as stop loss. For the calculation of the lot size, this is also relevant, because with a tighter stop you get a higher lot size and then more profit in the end, but I'll go the secure way here, the more conservative one, and use this one as stop loss, and the profit target is here, this resistance level, which is more than 2 days old. So remains 2 trades or 2 recommended opportunities here on the British pound. The first one is against the Japanese yen. The ATR situation is still pretty good. We have only 73% here, but there has been also a great move to the upside, so I expect it to get a bit down here before moving further to the upside, but doesn't matter. We'll take this one as well. There is a healthy upside dynamic, as you can see here in this symbol-based IX power analysis, and the British pound is still strengthening here. Considering the correlated weakness of the Japanese yen and the Swiss franc, this is a pretty safe trade, and I don't expect the British pound to drop to the weak side. So I'll use this one, but not this 13 days old support level, which seems to me to be too far away, and so I place it here to have enough space for my trade and still get a risk reward ratio of 1:1. The last one is the British pound against the US dollar. Spike to the upside, drop down. Seems like a mini resistance, which is not yet detected as such from FX levels. So if we trade this to the upside, I would go with a stop loss here at the bottom to leave enough space for this trading opportunity, and we'll go for a buy as well. Stop loss here and profit target here. We'll never know if our profit target will be reached, and these trades either hit their stop loss or their profit target, or they will be closed at the end of the day. So we'll see what comes out and how the market evolves in the next hour. So we have now 5 positions running with a total risk of $123, almost 124. No big deal so far. Every trade runs with 0.25% risk, so I'm very fine with that. And then we'll see how it's going on, and then I'll present you the results later. So here's a quick intermediate update, because the market situation changed a bit. It's currently 11:30 a.m. and we are about an hour after I started recording the first part of this video, and you see the total trading volume dropped currently by 0.5%, but I keep my trades still open because the strength situation is still pretty much the same. The British pound is still the strongest currency of all, and the Swiss franc is still weak, and the Japanese yen as well. We have only one position against the Japanese yen, so the risk is very limited. I would judge it differently if the Swiss franc would become stronger, because we have 3 positions against the Swiss franc. But in this situation, I'm very positive that the trades will work out even if the total trading volume drops, simply because the situation is unchanged here. You see, we had some profit, only $17 max. Currently we are at 7, but that's no big deal in this situation. We just have to be patient, and maybe the situation changes after the US dollar news. We'll see. Of course, I will monitor how it's going here in the strength analysis and then decide maybe differently. But if that's the case, I will keep you posted. So here is another quick update around 20 minutes before the news comes out. We are still in profit. The max profit raised a bit more. We have around $20 plus, so the market was very reluctant to take any further movement in any direction. Everyone is waiting for the US dollar news, and the situation on our trades is that 4 of them are in profit. One is showing a mini drawdown here, the British pound against the US dollar. Not surprising, but we have plenty of space to the downside here, and while it's the only US dollar trade, I'll keep it through the news. And I'm pretty happy that the Swiss franc continues its down move here. Japanese yen returned to the neutral area and is remaining there for several hours now, but I hope the Swiss franc will remain here at the downside, and then we can easily cover any possible loss on the US dollar trade with the other ones traded against the Swiss franc. So that's it. Stay tuned, and I'll keep you posted after the news. Welcome back to the last episode of today's trading journal. This is the last open trade here, the New Zealand dollar Swiss franc. It's the last one that is open. The other ones have been already closed, and most of them in profit. They reached their profit target, as you can see here, here and here. British pound US dollar has been stopped out, unfortunately. Due to the news, you see this massive spike to the downside. The price recovered, but then we've been out of that party as well. I expected it, but it's no big deal, because it was the only real trade at risk, and the other ones worked perfectly fine. And so we'll go through that. This one hit the profit target perfectly. This one too, and this one as well. You see these dotted lines here are the old resistance levels. Here is the next one, and British pound, Japanese yen is climbing even further. Yeah, that's it. We have another extremely successful trading day. Here is the last trade for today from our manual trading activities with Perplexity Pro. I think I'll close this one right now, then we are done for today. I'm perfectly fine with the result. The correlation AA is still trading. It opened some trades based on the correlated weakness of the Japanese yen and the Swiss franc here side by side. This is just an experiment to see how this strategy works. Yesterday it worked perfectly fine. We'll see how it works today. There have been also some trades closed already. Of course, the stop loss trades are the first to end, and the others will surely cover this loss easily. But anyway, today was all about manual trading, and the result is pretty clear. We have 4 winners and 1 loss due to the news event. Trading hasn't been as easy as yesterday, especially with the falling trading volume due to the upcoming US dollar news. But It was once more a day with profit, and I'm very proud of what we achieved with EasyInsight and the AI models we are using. In this case here, just to repeat it, these have been the recommendations for today's trading activity. And last but not least, you find all our tools at our central Stein Investments page, where you get lots of tips and tricks, manual trading strategies, then our EasyInsight series with Easy Trade as the perfect companion for manual traders. And here are all the tools you've seen on our charts today, where we do our chart analysis for manual trading, and these are also the basis for our excellent CSV data we send to the AI, and which provides then excellent trading recommendations day in, day out. That's it. We are done for this week, because tomorrow is a public holiday in the US and it's Friday anyway, so I don't expect any volatility at all. And with all these winners of this week, I'm pretty happy with the result, and so we'll let it be good. And we are looking forward to the upcoming trading opportunities of the next week. Thanks for watching. See you and bye bye.